Welcome to the green room. We had our guest, and it was so good. We did part 2, and it's like we got to do this. So this is, again, we're going to talk about legacy. We're going to talk about discipleship. Bert, you want to share anything with anybody?
Yeah, I'm so excited to be here, Jason. Really, it's been such a pleasure. And, it's so, the people being in the church are so receptive. And, it's quite easy to preach to freedom, by the way. Okay. I mean, these guys pull it right out of you.
Hey,
so it's good to be with you, man.
But, we started, remember?
Yeah.
It was many years, like 12 years ago now. And now look what God has done.
It's amazing.
And you've been such a key leader, key gift, key person in this. And so let's go again. Here's another good one. Okay. This is what I believe. So I believe this, that God raises a leader and he does a work. So the work he did in that leader is a work. God did a work. Like God worked in that leader, building beliefs, values, practices. That leader carries something. And what that leader has, God needs it multiplied more. Now, you could go learn it on your own, and it may take a lifetime. Or you learn from your father, and now, instead of having to relearn it all, you can teach it to the next generation. And so what that father has, now the son can have, and now that son can pass it on. And what God did there doesn't have to be relearned every generation, because it takes a lifetime to learn some of these things. And I think it caused almost like, hopefully I'm making sense, but it can become my ceiling becomes my son's floor.
For sure.
And now we don't have to start over again. Yeah. Kind of like buildings, like church buildings. How many good pastors don't have a building right now, but there's a bunch of empty buildings.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And because that hasn't been passed down.
Yeah.
So now that pastor has to start all over, raise the money, do all this, and give 20 years of his life to get a building where he could have it given to him right away and then be able to grow from there. And I think what God doesn't, he does a work in somebody, and he needs that multiplied in the earth. And he begins to cause that pastor, I want you to disciple them, and then they're going to disciple them, and then they're going to disciple them, and they're going to be able to teach others also.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
If I'm hearing what you're saying, as a leader, it is what you say. That's why you need a leader. And that's why we talk about they came together for apostles' doctrine.
Yeah.
So the apostles' doctrine.
That's foundation.
Yeah, that's it. So that's foundation. Apostles' doctrine, fellowship, the breaking of bread, prayer.
It's foundation.
So when we're talking about beliefs, values, practices, this is something they practiced all the time.
Yep.
Apostles' doctrine, meaning the sent one in your life. So
that's a real thing.
That's a real thing. You've got to have a sent one in your life. So a sent one and apostle, and it's a small letter apostle.
That's why the first thing you challenged me. Yeah. This is like heavy. You challenged me, said, "Who's your pastor?"
Exactly.
And I have my pastor. I've had him all my life. He's still my pastor. But then Pastor Russell became that.
Yes.
Because he was the sent one.
That's it.
And that's what you challenged me.
Yeah.
And I had to say, okay, God, what is it then?
Because that's what I did. And I said to you, you can't, and we did that very early on.
Very early.
I said to him, you cannot raise disciples if you can't model submission. Because how do you teach your people, how do you teach them how to submit if you don't become a master at submission? How do your people become a master at submission? Mm-hmm. You see, so even with my pastor, I've become a master. I've learned what it really means to submit.
Yep.
So when we're talking about follow somebody, yes, this is what happens. They see things in your life which you don't see.
Because we all have blind spots.
So when you start doing discipleship, suddenly you realize you need more of the word. You suddenly realize, but I'm expecting my disciples to do something I myself don't do.
Yeah.
Now you realize, okay, I can't expect them to do something. I need to change. So what happens now? How do you change? Well, you get more into the word. You get more into prayer.
Closer to God.
You get closer to God. You start dying to yourself, and then also suddenly you lose the big head about how awesome you are. Now you realize you nonsense. You nothing. You come before the Lord, and so it humbles. Now you humble. You see, discipleship humbles you like you cannot believe. You understand? So the more you disciple, so it's not about control. It's not about controlling people.
No.
It's about
the opposite of
That's
control.
exactly.
Okay, let's
Yes,
stop.
yes, yes.
It's not I'm going to say that 3 times.
Yeah.
It's not about control. It's not about control. It's not about control.
No.
It's actually about giving up control.
There you go. There
But
you
I
go.
can't give you the control
Yeah.
to the new car
Yeah.
and you're 9 years old.
Yes.
So I have to, in a sense, train you
Yes.
so I can give you the key and you don't go kill people.
Yes. Exactly.
That's what, and that's I think is important.
Yes.
I'm going to train you so you can drive the machine, so you can run the family business, so you can run the father's business.
Exactly.
And it's no joke.
Yeah.
You're building legacy
I'm building legacy.
because I'm giving Jesus an inheritance.
Yes, yes. Like you shared a great thing this morning when you spoke about honor. See, my guys also, they know authority comes from authority. And, there's no authority without honor. You understand? So they know that wherever they go, they show honor to me, but like I show honor to them. So once again, the multiplication of who I am.
Discipleship is not a department in your church.
Yeah.
Discipleship is everything.
Let me give you an example. My pastor would always, he'd always make a comment to me, and he'd always say, "Well, Bert, we nearly lost you." Then rather getting offended, I'd take offense and then I'd leave it, explain it to him, and then he'd say, "Hey, Bert, all right," until the next time, and then he would say, "Oh, Bert, we nearly lost you." And then, "Oh man, I'm telling you, it like pierces my heart, And then I went and prayed. I said, "Lord, what does my pastor see that I don't see? Why does he keep on saying this to me?" And then it's in that God gave me revelation. As I was praying, he showed me, you were nearly lost. And then I repented before the Lord. And once I repented, then once again, and the next time my pastor never asked me that question ever in my life again.
Wow.
And I can freely speak about it. And that's the thing about having a pastor in your life, having somebody that can see blind spots. And remember, I'm a pastor of 30, 40,000 people. Yeah. So you would think, you'd think
your little tiny church.
Yeah, a little tiny church.
But it is tiny to some churches.
It is compared to his church.
That's the crazy part.
Yeah. But you see, it's things that they see. And that's why, and I've learned to become a quick disciple. So when my pastor speaks, I take it. I never take anything he says as a suggestion, ever. I learned that. I did that for the first 10 years. You understand? But very quickly I learned. So for the last 15 years, so I've been with him 25 years now. For the last 15 years, I've been a quick disciple.
Yeah.
If he says something, I don't see it as a suggestion.
No, I know. I see you like that too.
Yeah,
and then when I'm with you, because I look up to you. So when I'm with you, you tell me, okay, now then you just you go.
There you go. Then I go. That's it. And I submit.
It's cool.
There
It's
you
cool.
go.
It's actually special.
Yeah.
I got a question.
This is where I carry the bag. This is where I bring the coffee.
Yeah, I got something to say.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to ask. I'm going to talk about this. Okay. I love how you explain structure, because a lot of times for me, we're Holy Spirit Church. It was maybe, I don't know, got to be 15 years ago now, and maybe And my friends, we weren't growing, Bert. We weren't growing. Man, we was preaching and sweating. And we couldn't break 400 or 500, right? And we go 400 or 500 to go back down. 400 500. I was building on that gift, a lot's tiring, right? So then I said, my friend was just growing, and then I said, "What are you doing? You're not more anointed. I don't get it." He's like, "Jason, your problem." This is when I first learned about this word. He said, "Your problem is not the Spirit. It says you don't have system, structure, organization." So I said, "Oh, okay." So then we started system, structure, organization. But I realized that that God gives system, structure, organization to contain, like a body. The body contains the Spirit. So it's not about the structure being the Spirit part of it. The structure is not the Spirit part. The Spirit part is the Spirit part. The life of the body is the Spirit, but you still need that body. Yeah. And when it came to discipleship, this is where you really helped me. You really helped me. That discipleship, you can create systems that facilitate the spirit of discipleship. And you can create these systems, the structure, the organizations that can hold the heart, the spirit of discipleship. Talk a few minutes about that, because we implemented a lot of the structure. The spirit of it was never a question. The heart of it was never a question. For me, we've done it. I mean, I got raised from the dead because of discipleship. Like, I just, it's emotional for me.
Yeah, yeah.
It's emotional.
Yeah, yeah.
Because my pastor, he took me in, and he just took me in.
Yeah, yeah.
He discipled me like a baby.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I never knew it could be a system, Bert.
Yeah, yeah.
I never knew you could have like a structure.
Yeah, yeah.
And you helped me with the system and the structure, and talk about the value of the two of those working together.
Yeah. Well, your structure does point somewhere. Like a stick you put in the ground, and then the tree has to, a little baby tree is then, wraps itself around this.
Yeah.
Or the tree grows next to it, and then at a time you can, remove it if necessary. But so structure is critically important. For example, you take the body. The body has a bone structure. So the bone structure is what keeps the body together. But once again, although the structure is important, we don't preach the structure. Because we model the structure, but we don't preach it. It's foundational. It's needed. So the problem is you can believe something, like you said. You grew up disciple.
That's
That's how you got saved.
It saved my life.
Saved your life. Discipleship.
Jesus saved me.
Yeah.
Okay, we're clear. Jesus saved me.
Yeah.
But if it wasn't for that man,
exactly,
and that it was a structure too, by the way, it was just small.
Exactly.
It was a home.
Exactly. So now you take that. So now when we start the church, we're dealing with more people, but you can believe something, but your structure preaches another belief. So you have to have a saved structure. So, for example, if you're event based, which means everything points to the Sunday service.
Yeah, which is in itself, it's nothing's wrong with that, because we're gonna get people saved and whatever. But we're not against that. But if that's all you got, you're in trouble.
Yeah, no. You can't just have a service.
No.
So it's not. If you go study the structure of the Word.
Yeah.
And the early church, they had church every single day.
Every day.
Yeah, and church wasn't in a building. You understand? Church was in the homes all over the place, and then also in the synagogues. You understand? So once again, if you're talking about the church was the gathering, the ecclesia, the gathering together, of which you then had a leader or you had a pastor that discipled the disciples. So what I'm saying, in the modern way that we live, it is important for systems, processes, and structures so that you can know what's going on. You can't make decisions without knowledge. The bigger the church is, the more processes and systems you have to be able to gain.
It's like a business too. Like if you have a business, how are you going to run a business without really good structure?
Yeah, you need information first.
Yeah.
So you need information that helps you. So if you take the model that Jesus had, there were small groups. There was the gathering of the saints, the service, and then but everything was to facilitate discipleship. So what we did is we changed the structure of our church to prioritize discipleship over event.
That's what we did too.
Yes. So basically, where people would do a Sunday service, and like you say, yes, nothing wrong with that, but you're not going to make disciples like that.
No, it's more like it's got its purposes, edification, whatever, and you mobilize people.
Yeah. So what happens is now you have, like Monday, you have, a prayer for the service. Then you have, every day you got band practice for the service. Then you have the next day intercession for the service. So everything is for the service. Everything is for the service, for the worship service. And that's not, if you go study the church, the early church, it wasn't like that. See, it was discipleship on a daily basis. It was relationship.
So this is, remember when the Lord, before I met you, the Lord was dealing with me on what would happen if you were in prison for the gospel, or you were martyred, and the building was taken.
Yeah.
What would happen to Freedom City Church? And the vision I gave you: go tell Pharaoh, let my people go.
Yeah.
Okay. it would be gone.
Yeah, yeah.
It wouldn't make it.
Yeah.
And I had to be honest with myself and say, we're not building. So when we started studying discipleship all over the world, that's why I ran across you. And
So it's based on our gift. So every Sunday I have to perform. Every other day is the work.
yeah,
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Then we're phoning people. We're visiting people. We're getting to people's homes. We're having small groups. We're having training.
Yeah.
And so all of that takes place in the week. Then Sunday is the celebration
Sure.
of what we've done from Monday through
so
to
that's the structure. But there's
Yeah.
the structure Monday through Friday.
and it's not separate. It's lifestyle.
Yeah.
So it's at your work. That's where you're doing it.
Yeah.
At school. That's where you're doing it.
Sure.
You know. So it's not like people say, but where do people have another night and another night and another night? It's not people. I mean, it's crazy within our church. I've got some people that are out every single night. You understand? They're ministering, touching people's lives, and they are flourishing, they're growing. And of course, things change. The younger people can do that more. You know, if you're married, you
got
do
kids,
less.
your responsibility.
So obviously, your family's important.
Yeah.
You know, and things like that. But when the family's got the vision and they're doing it together, you understand.
Yeah.
Once again, that's also it brings life.
Yeah.
It doesn't bring death.
So, but by building a revival, because we do ours on Sunday. Most
Yeah,
of our training,
yeah.
but I think it's because our facilities allow us.
Yeah.
That's why we're able to. We weren't able to do it before like that.
But the thing is, it's a different model for every church.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what's so nice about this. There
Yeah.
isn't a one, and throughout the world where we go, and
Yeah.
even in our church. So even our church, look, our church is a lot of littles.
Yeah.
You understand? So even our church, there's different ways we do different
Yeah.
places at different church
You have pop ups over here, and
yeah. And we'll have one will do training after the service.
Yeah.
Another service will prefer it to do it on a Friday night.
Even Russell, how they do it in Shakers, they do it like it's called bi-weekly, and they'll do like 1 week training, 1 week group, 1 week training.
Exactly.
So it's all different.
And every church does it differently.
And
but
the society, the culture, the traffic, everything matters.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But the bottom line is what? You need that structure.
Exactly. You need the structure. So first of all, and this is the structure. First of all, you need to be a disciple.
Yeah.
So you got to be in a place where you're discipled. Secondly, now you got to make disciples, and the pressure of growth is first of all being the leader, getting people, and then the pressure of change has also got to do with having brothers and sisters in a cell. So you get pressure from a leader to grow. You get pressure from your brothers and brothers or sisters in the cell to grow, and then you get pressure from your own disciples to grow.
Yeah.
So if you're a leader in our church, you attend a cell where you are a disciple. You sit, you listen, you learn, and then you also do a cell.
We do that too.
Yeah. So a leader does 2 cells, and the average leader in our church probably runs 3 cells.
Yeah, got it.
Because they also have an open cell.
Yeah.
So and it's not extra. It's like a lunch hour at.
Yeah.
I mean, you're sitting there doing lunch at work. You might as well have cell.
Yeah,
So it's not extra.
No, and it's all principle driven. Like
Yeah.
we do that
Yeah.
on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Because you were there, and so after that meeting, the leaders will meet their leaders, and then during the week they'll do a group. But the bottom line is, the structure has been the key, I think.
Yes.
And I think it's here's a word I got. God gives revival systems.
Yeah.
You know what was a really good discipleship movement? The Methodists back in the day. They have a book. It's fabulous. Master Plan of Evangelism.
Yeah. They were master disciple makers.
Master.
From the Wesleys. I'm telling you.
Master disciple makers. Okay. So the Wesleys. Now it was, what was his name? John Wesley. And then there was another guy that was up and coming at the time, was a very good preacher. John Wesley was the disciple maker. And I don't think it was Spurgeon. I think it was, I forgot what it was. But they said that Wesley's fire went further because he had a method. So he had the fire, the fire. It's on their logo, that fire.
Yeah.
But then they had the Methodists, and they combined them. And so you had the spirit of it, and then you had the method, and the two together brought, at that time, the fastest growing movement in the world.
Yeah.
And they said there was nowhere in America, at least, so you could go, and you hadn't found a place where the Methodists hadn't been in all of America.
Yeah.
They just blew through it
Yeah.
because and I think God wants to do that again, Bert.
Yeah.
And I think the next great revival is going to be a discipleship revival.
No, for
And
sure.
I think COVID exposed everything.
Yeah.
Like people left church, never came back.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
They're online now. That's their church. Online church is my church. How did we get to the point when online, unless you're home, you're incapacitated, you're in a prison, I get it, but how did we get to a point where online church, which we do online, you do online church became the church?
Yeah.
Where I don't need a fellowship, I don't need to connect, I don't need accountability. This is where COVID-19 revealed what happened.
Yeah.
We're out of time too, by the way.
Yeah.
We've been
Okay.
going for a long time here.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. No. So once again, the structure is important, and along with the discipleship structure, so having a leader, being a disciple, making disciples. Then once again, the training running alongside it, which you guys are experts at as well. Once again, making sure that you are equipping the disciples, giving them the tools to disciple.
Yeah.
So you've got to run that alongside. So your training, your discipleship training is important, but I've got to emphasize that training is not discipleship.
It's not discipleship.
It's training.
Yeah.
You see, so discipleship is relationship.
Yeah.
So it's me having a parent relationship or a father relationship, or with the ladies, a mother relationship with the
It's
girls.
like Jesus, right? He was,
Yeah,
remember,
yeah.
he was always,
Yeah.
he didn't have a class with the guys.
Yeah.
Remember? He's like,
Yeah.
who's the greatest? And he's like,
Yeah.
how long would I have to deal with you? Remember, he would tell him.
And we just got to throw in, that's why we do men discipling men and women discipling women.
Yeah,
So
I
just
believe
by the way, because there might be some guys
Yeah.
listening to that and thinking we have mixed cells. We don't have mixed cells. You can have a mixed cell for discipleship purposes, but you can't have a mixed cell. Mixed groups don't work.
Yeah.
So I'm stating that emphatically.
Yeah.
That mixed groups, you can't disciple in mixed groups.
Got it.
So it's men where you teach a guy's teaching a guy how to be a guy.
To beliefs, values, and
Exactly.
practices.
And
biblically,
Yeah.
from a man's
Yeah,
perspective.
and a woman, that's Titus chapter 2,
Yeah.
where the older women teach the younger women
It says
how
teach.
to love their husband. Yeah,
Beliefs,
Exactly.
values, practices.
exactly. So you can't
Creating
do
legacy.
you can't do that. You can't. A woman can't teach another woman certain things while a man's there.
Yeah.
You understand? And the same with the men.
What we found, now you're gonna get some comments here. Okay, so he said it. No, I'm just kidding. No. So, what we noticed was the guys will be there, right? And you put one woman in the room, and the
Yeah.
guys act different.
Yeah.
Or you have 10 women in the room.
Yeah.
You got one guy, and they all start acting different.
Yeah.
I think it's just how it's wired.
Yeah.
We're wired.
Yeah.
The men train the men.
Yeah.
Women train the women.
Yeah.
And it's a
And that's
blessing.
it. Yeah. So don't call it discipleship groups if you got mixed groups.
Yeah.
So that's that, and that is the biggest principle. And I've studied the largest churches. Before we started 25 years ago, I studied the largest churches in the world that transformed.
Whoa.
That transformed.
What did you do?
I studied of the largest churches in the world.
That's exactly what I did.
There you go. That's how you learn. And the number one thing was none of them had integrated cells. Discipleship is an intimate relationship with somebody, like Jesus had with his disciples.
Yeah.
He had an intimate relationship with every single one of those 12.
That's so good.
You understand? So you can't have a man having an intimate relationship with another woman besides his wife. You understand?
Not
and
good.
the same with the woman. You understand? So there is no discipleship in mixed. There isn't discipleship.
That's.
Yeah.
I think
I'm
we'll leave it.
just
I think we'll
saying-
leave it at that because that
Yeah.
was really good,
Thank you.
and it's all been really good. Thank you, Bert. We're gonna do it again,
Sure.
maybe in the beginning of the year next year. You're gonna come through again.
We'd love to.
And we'll have you again, and we'll host you and your beautiful wife, and maybe we could bring one of your sons, maybe
Well,
come
sure.
hang out with us and have a good time and see what the Lord has. Okay. Well, we love you, Bert.
Thank you.
And we'll say to all your family, we love you, and may the Lord bless you and prosper you, and just go to another level, man.
I receive that.
Well, for a gift of any amount, this month's gift is the 5 priorities of life, and I'm actually gonna have my friend talk about this.
5 priorities life starts with God first.
God first.
Always God first. And then you have to deal with yourself.
Yeah, that's big.
So that's a big, because you can't do anything for anybody else unless you deal with yourself.
And the third,
Third, your family.
yeah, you doubt. That's a good one.
Yeah.
You gotta disciple your family.
So it starts dealing with your family, getting to your family. That's your first ministry.
Yes.
Your first ministry is your family.
And the fourth,
Fourth, we deal with deals with your
Calling.
your calling, your ministry.
Yeah.
So from your family, your ministry expands.
Okay.
It goes out to your to your ministry, from your family to your ministry.
And number
And
5.
then lastly, your career.
So those are the 5 priorities, and we do those here, and they work, and they're a blessing. So that's this month's gift to the partners for any amount.
Awesome.
5 priorities of life. That's from me to you, from Bert Pretorius to you. So you'll be blessed. Any gift amount, we want to send that to you. We love you. God bless you.
God has called you to rule in every area of life. The 5 Priorities of Life is a powerful mini book to help you walk in freedom, order, and purpose. It will help you conquer 5 key areas that shape every part of your life. It's our gift to you for any amount. Just visit jasonlozano.org/donate and we'll send it straight to your inbox. Rule well, live blessed, and become everything God has called you to be.